We've covered so much. The living picture, the proof loop, the body, impulses, the point of power, the natural self, money, allowing. But life is messy. Stress happens. Old patterns creep back. How do I make this a habit, not just a series of interesting ideas I forget by next week?
That is, honestly, it's the single most important question you could possibly ask right now. Because if we don't answer it...
It's all just theory, right?
Exactly. It's just intellectual entertainment. So I want to anchor us immediately. There is a very specific sentence in Chapter 12 of The Nature of Personal Reality. The entity, Seth says this verbatim, the realization that you create your reality frees you from being a victim.
Okay, wait. I want to look at that word realization because, the way we usually use that word is like a sudden epiphany.
Right, like a light bulb moment.
Yeah, you have a realization, you get it, and then you just move on. But based on everything we've explored in this deep dive, that's not what Seth means, is it?
Not at all. It's more like an ongoing state of awareness. You're hitting on the exact mechanical difference between like a fleeting spiritual high and actual grounded change.
So it's active.
Yes, it's a continuous active perception. And our entire mission for today is total integration. We're going to take all these massive cosmic concepts and hand you, the listener, a really simple, repeatable practice for daily life.
Which is so needed. Because the theory is beautiful, but if it doesn't hold up on a Tuesday morning when, the car won't start and your kid is screaming...
What was the point?
Exactly. What's the point?
Yeah.
We need a way to apply this without feeling totally overwhelmed.
And without feeling like you have to perfectly police every single thought you ever have, we are moving completely out of the realm of theory and into a lived habit.
Well, let's synthesize this journey then. Let's look at the actual architecture we've built over the last 5 sessions, because it's a whole sequence, right?
It's a continuous mechanism, yeah.
Starting with episode 1, the core premise. You are the painter, and reality is the living picture of your beliefs.
Right. Your conscious mind acts as the director.
And then episode 2, we looked at the senses. Your senses aren't objective. They show you what you already believe.
A proof loop, yes. And emotion is the fuel for that loop.
Emotion is the fuel. Then, moving to episode 3, we saw how the body speaks your beliefs and how your natural impulses are like your inner GPS.
Exactly. Nudging you toward your value fulfillment.
Right. And episode 4 was a big one. The point of power is now.
The point of power is now, meaning you can literally reframe the past. The real you is underneath all those societal shoulds.
And finally, episode 5, money is just creative flow, and allowing is always more powerful than forcing.
That's the whole roadmap. You synthesize that beautifully.
Thanks. But here's the thing. I know this roadmap. I've read the book. And yet yesterday, I got an unexpected bill in the mail. And within 5 seconds, that familiar cold knot of dread formed in my stomach. I slipped right back into old patterns.
Which is so human.
It is. But it feels like I'm failing the course,
Well, I want to reassure you and everyone listening right now that this is the most misunderstood part of this whole philosophy. Seth does not expect perfection. Let me say that again. Perfection is not the goal.
Oh, thank God.
Right. Slipping back into old patterns is completely normal. The physical flesh is resilient. Reality isn't so fragile that a Tuesday morning panic attack is going to ruin your life.
I like to think of it like going to the gym.
Okay, yeah.
You don't just walk in, deadlift twice your body weight with perfect form, and then expect to stay perfectly strong forever without ever losing your form again.
You have to keep showing up.
Yeah. And some days you show up and you're tired and your form gets sloppy, but you don't panic and think you've ruined your muscles forever. You just notice the bad form, adjust your posture, and try again.
That is a brilliant analogy. The practice we are talking about today isn't about being flawless. The practice is simply to notice when you've slipped and gently return.
Just noticing it.
Yes. Your only goal is to shorten the gap between forgetting you're the painter and remember you hold the brush.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the whole practice.
Shorten the gap, that takes so much pressure off.
It really does. And to prove that perfection isn't required, we just have to look at Jane Roberts herself, the woman who channeled the Seth material.
Right, because you'd assume she was this flawless, levitating master of the material.
That is the most common assumption. But she absolutely didn't master this overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close. When this started, she was a struggling, often sick poet living in Elmira, New York.
She had really severe rheumatoid arthritis, didn't she?
She did. And she kept incredibly detailed journals. She documented how she would completely forget the very teachings she was channeling twice a week.
Wait, really? She forgot her own material?
All the time. She would slide back into worry about medical bills, fear about the future, deep self-doubt. She fell into the trap of getting angry at herself for not manifesting perfectly.
Wow. That is, I mean, it's so encouraging for the rest of us.
It proves this is a practice, not a performance. Over the years, she transformed from that fearful, struggling poet into a joyful, highly influential teacher. Her life fundamentally changed.
Because she just kept returning to it.
Exactly. Her daily practice was the bridge. Her journal was her anchor. She just kept working to shorten the gap.
So if Jane struggled and still transformed her reality, then you and I can definitely do this.
Absolutely. Which brings us to the actual pivot. We have distilled all of this into an integrated practice. We're calling it the 6-day SETH Reality Audit.
The 6-day SETH Reality Audit. I love a good framework. How does it work?
It is a really simple one focus per day cycle, and we spread it over 6 days specifically to prevent that feeling of information overload.
Right, because if I try to monitor my beliefs, fix my proof loop, check my impulses, and stay in the point of power all before breakfast, I'm going to lose my mind.
Your ego would just throw its hands up and rebel.
It's like tuning an instrument, right? You tune one string at a time rather than trying to play a symphony perfectly on day one.
Perfect way to look at it. So let's walk through the strings. Day 1 is all about belief.
Okay, day 1, belief. What's the assignment?
Your only job for that entire day is to notice just one victim thought.
Just one?
Just one. It could be, traffic is ruining my day, or my boss is making me miserable. Catch it. And replace it with this specific phrase. I am participating in an event where I feel.
Wow, okay. I am participating in an event where I feel frustrated.
Exactly. You aren't forcing toxic positivity. You're allowed to be frustrated. Right. But you are claiming ownership. You're moving out of the passive victim role and back into the active creator role.
That's powerful. Okay, so that's day 1. What about day 2?
Day 2 is perception. This is where we tackle the proof loop.
When physical reality is just loudly confirming your negative bias, like staring at a $0 bank balance.
Yes, when that happens and the panic rises, you just pause and say, other evidence exists.
Other evidence exists, even if it feels like a lie in the moment.
It's not a lie. You are commanding your physical senses, your biological search engine, to stop hyper-focusing on the lack and start finding the abundance that coexists right beside it.
You're forcing the algorithm to broaden its search.
Precisely. That's day 2. D3 focuses on the body and impulses.
Oh, this is the inner GPS stuff?
Right. So on day 3, you do 2 small things. First, you genuinely thank one body part.
Like literally just saying thanks to my elbow.
Yes. Or your lungs or your eyes.
Yeah.
We spend so much time criticizing our cellular consciousness. A simple, deliberate moment of gratitude sends a clear, positive healing instruction to your physical vessel.
I like that. It breaks the habit of only talking to our bodies when they hurt.
Exactly. And the second part of day 3 is to follow one small, harmless impulse.
Keyword being harmless, I'm guessing?
Very keyword. We're talking about natural grace, not destructive urges. If you get an impulse to take a different route home, do it. If you get an impulse to stretch, do it. You're just rebuilding trust with your inner self.
Just proving to yourself that it's safe to listen. Okay, so that's day 3. What's day 4?
Day 4 is time and self. Catching the historical narrative. You're going to listen to yourself and catch any I always story.
Oh, boy. The I always stories like, I always mess up presentations, or I always get sick in winter.
We all have a massive library of them. When you say that, you are forcefully projecting the past into your future. So when you catch it, you pause and you say, I am creating now.
I am creating now.
It severs the tie to the past. It pulls all your scattered energy back into the present moment, the point of power.
It's like a psychological circuit breaker. I love that. Okay, day 5.
Day 5 is allowing. You are going to use a 10-minute receptive pause before starting just one task.
A receptive pause, like meditating before I send a difficult email.
Sort of, but it's specifically about surrendering the how. You set a timer for 10 minutes, and you deliberately stop trying to strategize with your rational ego.
Because the ego isn't equipped to orchestrate the vast web of probabilities, right? That's Framework 2's job.
Yes. You sit in quiet trust and let the inner self do the heavy lifting. When the timer goes off, you start the task, and you'll find it flows so much easier.
You're stepping out of your own way. Okay, and finally, day 6.
Day 6 is rest and trust.
The hardest part for the overachievers.
It really is. On day 6, you do nothing but review the week. You just notice any small shifts.
So no aggressively hunting for negative beliefs.
No forcing whatsoever. Reality changes and habits build through small, aware moments, not exhausting grand gestures. You have to demonstrate actual trust that the new instructions are integrating in the background.
Like the rest day at the gym where the muscle actually grows?
Precisely. That is the 6-day audit.
It's so incredibly practical. It really takes the frantic pressure off of trying to manifest perfectly. So for you listening right now, we have a final concrete assignment for you.
Yes, a direct call to action. Tomorrow, you're going to start the 6-day audit. But, and please hear me on this, you're beginning only with day 1.
Setting a strict boundary. I like it. Because I know I would try to do all 6 days simultaneously before breakfast.
And you'd be psychologically exhausted by noon. Do not try to do all 6 days at once. One day, one focus.
So tomorrow, your only job is to catch one victim thought and pivot to, I am participating. That's it.
That is how habits build. That is how reality changes. Just return to awareness.
The goal is not perfection. The goal is simply noticing what shifted at the end of the week, however small, just gently returning to the point of power.
It really is that simple.
Alara, when we started, I thought manifesting was about vision boards and affirmations. Now I see it's about waking up to the fact that I've been the painter all along and just forgot I was holding the brush.
That's the Seth teaching, Leo. You are the painter. You are the projector. The point of power is now.
It changes absolutely everything.
It really does. And, well, this completes our journey through the nature of personal reality. But the exploration continues. In future seasons, we'll explore dreams, probable realities, and the wider framework of consciousness. Until then, keep painting.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this. And to you listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Be gentle with yourself this week. Start with day 1 tomorrow, and we will see you next time.